Welcome to the NC Spin After Spin. Additional comments from our panelists just available on our website. John Hood, what do you wish you had said on last week's show, but you didn't?
Tom, we really didn't have a chance to put the current moment in any kind of historical context. I was looking recently at what happened a little over 100 years ago in the fall of 1918 as World War I was winding down and the Spanish flu epidemic swept North Carolina, the nation, the pandemic around the world. North Carolina lost 13,600 people, mostly in a 2-month period, October, November of 1918. Now remember, that's a time when North Carolina's population was only 2.5 million people. So in today's proportionality, that would be almost 60,000 deaths in 2 months from a virus,
wow,
from a flu. Now, I don't think personally that we're in that scenario because of not just better information, better health care system, but just a variety of other coping mechanisms that people had. We're a wealthier society today. Even our poorest people are wealthier than they would have been in 1918.
Sanitary conditions are much better.
Yeah, sanitation is better. So I'm not arguing we're going to have something like that, but just think about that and put things in perspective. If things go well, we're still going to have a shocking, a very sad number of North Carolinians who at least contract and suffer from a significant illness, and unfortunately a number of them will probably pass away. And this is a serious matter. We should not panic. There's also dangers associated with panic.
Yes, there
As
are.
I mentioned on the show, some public institutions, large institutions, we should of course shut them down. We have shut them down. But we have to be careful with something like public schools. We mentioned public libraries. If we have extended periods of time when minor children cannot be somewhere other than home, that has significant ramifications for employment, for income, for people's ability to manage other needs that affect their health. People who are diabetic and need money in order to get insulin. Just lots of those kinds of decisions. This is not an easy question. Everybody just say, well, shut it all down. We're going to live out of our house. That is actually not a practical alternative.
Pretty big decisions that the governor and the secretary and the state health director and our leaders in North Carolina. You're talking about that 1918 epidemic. My dad's mom died. He was 4 years old during this epidemic. And of course, at age 4, his memories were that it was a very scary and sad time in North Carolina. Growing up in little Buies Creek, North Carolina, you wouldn't think that little communities like that were affected, but they were. And
there were a number of families where the father or the brother or the grandfather, they weren't in the home, they were in Europe.
Yes.
And so it was a very, very challenging time.
Because it was the end of WW1.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.